Hey guys, this is Rosen Wish to Use here, and welcome back to another video. And today, guys, I'm going to be doing the top list that you have been waiting for. My top 10 favorite movies of 2024. Yep, first I did my favorite TV shows of the year list, then my worst movies of the year list, and now about time for my best movies of the year list. Yeah, so sorry it took me this long. I wish I did this earlier, mainly because some other users did their list like a few days earlier than me. However, the reason why I decided to wait until the final day of December to do this is because there are some movies that I had to revisit. I had to rewatch in order for this list to just feel more genuine and sure about. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, I have the list prepared right here. So yeah, now, yes, guys, I previously said that I was going to make this a top 15 list because yes, even though 2024 is not quite as good as 2023 in terms of movies, I still think that there were just so many movies that I absolutely loved, up to the point where I would say 2024 would be my second favorite year for movies of of the decade, second only behind of course 2023. Even though this year was kind of a rough year for my personal life, these movies are among the highlights of 2024. So yes, since there are a lot of movies that I want to honor as some of the best I've seen this year, to make up for making to make up for having this be reduced to a top 10 list instead of a top 15, I'm going to have 10 honorable mentions. So yep, 10 honorable mentions. So yeah, guys, if you want to know what my best movies of the year list are, then just keep watching. So here are my 10 honorable mentions: Alien Romulus, Emilia Perez, Joker Folie à Deux, Flow, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Beetlejuice, Abigail, Challengers, The Substance, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I actually wish I had this on the list. I really wanted to put this on the list, but there's just some heavy competitions with the top 10 this year. So anyways, let's get on with the top 10. At number 10, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Yes, guys, I never knew I would put a Sonic movie on the top 10 list, best movies of the year list, but here we are. Yep, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is the best video game movie I have ever seen. It's not quite my favorite video game adaptation. I still think Arcade is my favorite, and also The Last of Us, but yeah. It's certainly right up there among the top 3 video game adaptations. Also, by the way, what a coincidence with both of my top 10 favorite TV shows of the year list and my favorite movies of the year list. My favorite TV shows of the year, my 10th favorite TV show of the year was a video game adaptation, and my 10th favorite movie of the year is also a video game adaptation. What a coincidence, right? Yeah, I would actually prefer. I would also not. Thinking about it, guys, I would actually rank Sonic 3 up slightly above Fallout, mainly because this is a show that I'd rewatch more than Fallout. And kind of a shame that I have not seen this movie in cinemas yet, mainly because it doesn't come out in my country until January 15. But at the very least, I have seen this movie online, and yeah, maybe I'm a little biased praising this one because this is gonna be my birthday movie. But it's gonna be a spectacular birthday movie for me, yeah. And yeah, what I love about Sonic 3, what makes this movie so good, even coming from a casual Sonic player who just plays the game for fun but isn't really a fanatic of Sonic, is just how dark and mature this movie is. I don't know how some people say that this is just a kids movie. It did not feel like a kids movie at all. How come people get easily offended by me calling Despicable Me 4 a kids only movie, yet you're saying this to Sonic and Disney movies. Like, how come every time a family movie appeals to me, that's when you like targeted as a kids only movie? Like that, you people are being such hypocrites. Like that is just beyond the hypocritical. But thank God for the critics giving this film an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is the highest grossing video game movie of all time. No, I'm sorry, the highest rated video game movie of all time critically. And when critics praise this film, you know it's good. Yeah, I love how the human characters had their screen time reduced to focus on the characters we all know and love. Shadow is what made this movie so mature. Keanu Reeves knocks it out of the park as Shadow, but not only that, yeah, this movie is action-packed as well. Yeah, they raised the stakes really high, really high, and yeah, and all the this is a Sonic fan's dream come true. To see a Sonic film that actually takes itself very seriously. It's daring. It actually takes risks. It has consequences. Like when like seeing characters die. Like 3 characters get killed off in this one. Like, and they had the nerve to almost kill off Tom himself. But thank God he's okay. And of course, yeah, that the third act that could not have been any better. Oh, and also the post-credit scene is one of the best post-credit scenes I have ever seen. If Sonic 4 tops this one, yeah, then I'd be blown away. But yeah, fingers crossed the Sonic 4, would be just as dark and gritty and mature as this one. Going from this trilogy has fully evolved from a mediocre, generic road trip movie to a film to the sequel, which is not flawless, but it's still the movie that Sonic fans want to just a movie that actually made my top 10 favorite movies of the year list. It's insane. At number 9, The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. My favorite movie of December 2024. Yeah, I get why some people say Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is the best December 2024 film, but Lord of the Rings to me, yeah, is better simply because I'm just a pure Lord of the Rings fan, a pure Middle-earth fan. Lord of the Rings The Return of the King is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love that film to death. In fact, on reflection, guys, Return of the King might be my favorite live-action movie of all time. Well, I'll think about it, but you'll see in my best movies of all time list that I'm going to do for my birthday. Yeah, but War of the Hero, man. I will never understand the hate for this one. I don't really think it's the most underrated movie of the year, mainly because at least this movie has some defenders. I personally think that the Joker Folie à Deux, despite not making it the list as much as I remember, Joker Folie à Deux is the most underrated because of just how unfair hate it got. But even though, yeah, if you if you read what I put in, the things I put in the Joker Folie, when I mentioned Joker Folie à Deux in my honorable mentions, you saw that I put something in there. I put like that text like explaining why Joker Folie à Deux is not on the list and my updated thoughts on it. Yeah, you know what I mean by that. But yeah, at least Walter Hiram has some defenders. Like I've seen people on Letterboxd actually like this one, but yeah, I feel like this movie has really flown under the radar. Nobody cared about this one, and it even is the biggest animated box office bomb of the year, which is just sad because this movie deserved so much better. This movie deserved a lot better. Yeah, and I think this movie truly felt like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, director Kenji Kamiyama really understood what makes Lord of the Rings just so special. He understands Peter Jackson, and this felt like a Peter Jackson production. I get why people say this movie should have been live action, but I think animation is the right way to go, because that's actually the main reason why I love this film. It's because it's one of those films that should be a prime example of what animation needs to be. Animation should be like this. We need more animated film like this. One that's epic, daring, mature, dark, PG-13, full of gore, and not having like any sex jokes. Yeah, I can see why people have that problem with adult animated films where it's it relies way too heavily on sex jokes for its comedy. But how about an animated film with no comedy at all? Yeah, this animated film takes itself very seriously, and I know people don't like that this film has no humor to it, but I think it works. And how the fuck do people call this movie boring? This movie is engaging from start to finish. It was never boring throughout. And yeah, Hera is such a badass. Yeah, she is the queen of Middle Earth characters. And she's not just like a hot badass girl. She actually has a real character arc, and she's just very likable. So yeah, sorry about that. I will defend this movie to the end. I am not going to decline my thoughts on this one. Yeah, so yeah, screw the haters. At number 8, The Wild Robot. Yeah, I get why people call this the best animated film of the year, and I wouldn't be mad if this movie wins best animated feature at the Oscars, because this movie is such a masterpiece from DreamWorks, and I think that it's fair enough that that DreamWorks would beat Disney for the awards this year, because this is the last DreamWorks movie that. This is the last DreamWorks movie that is animated from in-house DreamWorks. So, yeah, I mean, I will accept if Disney loses this year, but I just hope that Disney can one day Disney can go back to winning Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. Someday, like within the next few years. I mean, I would love to see Zootopia to win Best Animated Feature, but yeah. But man, The Wild Robot is such a beautiful film. Sure, I will say that the reason why it's a little lower than this is because the first half doesn't hit quite as hard as the second half of the film. The first half is good. I mean, it's such a great coming of age story about a robot trying to adapt to this wilderness, and the animals discriminate against Roz. And you can clearly connect with Roz and also all the other characters. But I think that the second half of the film is what really truly shines. I mean, it's a good first act. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the film. Well, despite having a clear weak character in the film, like not bad character, but rather just the weakest character, that is that beaver character, the beaver character. He's the weakest character in the film, but he's still a decent character, I guess. But yeah, when that scene where Bright Bill starts to train to like fly in preparation for migration, to that scene where Bright Bill takes off and Roz helps him. Yeah, that was where the movie starts to get so to be mind blowing. Yeah, and the score from Chris Bowers. Wow, that is why I love film scores. Like Chris Bowers' score for this one, yeah, it is why I love film scores. And this film even had the balls to kill off a major character, and yeah. Oh, and also Vontra is the best DreamWorks villain. I don't know why people hate Vontra. Come on, guys, Vontra's not that bad. I don't get it. This movie did make me tear up. How come no one? I think Bright Bill deserves more love. Like, when it comes to Wild Robot characters, people mainly talk about Roz and Fink, but I mean, I get why people don't talk about Vontra that much, because Vontra is not really a major character. But man, Bright Bill, man, I mean, Bright Will's I mean, damn. Bright Will is actually the character, the true heart of the film that makes this movie emotional. Yeah, and I did cry in a scene where Bright Bill just says, "I love you, mom," to Roz, and that immediately wakes up Roz. Yeah, that is the mother and son bonding in this one. Oh man, yeah, it's so good. Oh, and also the animation is gorgeous. I love how this is more of a Wish type animation than a Spider-Verse style, over stylized. I know that people are really do have this bias towards these stylized animation style and animated films with stylized animation, but the fact that this film managed to go the Wish route than the Spider-Verse route with the animation being comic booky yet smooth, I mean that's actually the one of the biggest compliments I can give this one. And heck, the animals in this film, they even look like Wish characters, and that's something. So yeah, man, I absolutely love this film. I will not get mad at this one. Just as long as just as long as one day Disney can give back their Best Anime Feature. Disney can win Best Anime Feature. I actually do miss that, and I don't want the Oscars to start turning back their backs on Disney and just be like, oh, what have we done? Why have we been giving Disney all the awards? Oh, we should give more awards. So yeah. At number 7, The Fall Guy. Yep. The Fall Guy is one of the more underappreciated movies of the year. What a shame this movie flew under the radar and bombed at the box office. I think this movie is far, far, far better than what most people make it out to be. Yeah, this is without question the best David Leitch movie, and it's not even close, man. It's not even close. I think this movie is a love letter to the action genre, and action is my favorite genre. Action is my favorite genre. Action is my go-to genre. And this film is just like what I said, a love letter to it. And this movie is a love letter to just the stunts category. This movie actually really inspired me to create a best stunt category at the Frozen Awards. And yes, guys, you heard me right. I will bring in a best stunt category for the Frozen Awards 2025. Will this win? Well, we'll see about that. But yeah, well, what can I say? This movie is so much fun. This is such a blast from start to finish. And just the fact that this is a love letter to action movies itself is just the cherry on top to why I love this. But there's just so many other things to just love about this one. And yeah, I wish that the Oscars would actually recognize a stuntman because of just how hard they work despite just not being on screen. They're the ones who create these amazing action scenes that we see on screen. This movie has action, comedy, and drama all perfectly combined in this. And Ryan Gosling gives one of his best performances. Sure, yes, there are. I can name some better Ryan Gosling performances like Ken from Barbie and Sebastian from La La Land and Officer K from Blade Runner 2049. But this is certainly one of them. And Emily Blunt gives her best performance yet as Jodie Moreno. I know it's an unpopular pick, but I just love Jodie so much. And Stephanie Hsu as well. Yeah. I don't care she had little screen time. I don't care. Alma Milan is my favorite character in the film. And Stephanie Hsu, sorry Wild Robots, but this is the best Stephanie Hsu movie. This is the better Stephanie Hsu movie of the year than Wild Robot. And badass action, hilarious comedy, some emotional and heartfelt scenes that made me shed a tear. Like even a fake out death scene made me cry. I mean, despite the Colt Seavers faking his own death, it actually And despite knowing that he's actually not really dead, I still cried at that scene. Damn, I mean, you know it's good if a fake out death made me cry. But then again, Sonic 3 also that happened with Sonic 3. Only difference is that I didn't really think that Tom would still be alive. I thought, I believe that they actually killed off Tom, so yeah. So there's something. And yeah, and the twist villain as well. Sure, I predicted the twist villain. I predicted who the villain was going to be, but it didn't really stop me from, it didn't really stop me from criticizing the villain. So yeah. And also playing featuring the best Taylor Swift song "All Too Well" as a major plot point in this one. Oh man, yeah. And I remember this movie all too well. Oh, and also, yeah, the "Take a Look at Me Now" sequence with with Colt and Alma fighting with Jodie singing that song in the background. Yeah, my best scene in the film, hands down. Yeah, if you haven't seen this film yet, guys, please go watch it. You will love it, especially if you're an action movie fan. This movie will define what makes action truly a special kind of genre. At number 6, Moana 2. Yeah, Moana 2 is the second most underrated movie of the year and the most underrated animated film of the year. Yeah, I will never understand the hate for this one. Oh, and also the fact that people think that Mufasa the Lion King is better than Moana 2. Honestly, I'm sorry. If you think Mufasa the Lion King is better than Moana 2, then go fuck yourself. I'm serious. I will never understand the hate for this one. And I'm just sick of the Walt Disney Animation Studios hate. I have a feeling that people are only hate this film just because they hate Wish from last year, and there's like, you know what? I'm not gonna like a Disney movie anymore. I vow. Like, because if you actually are a Disney fan, well, if you're a Disney fan and you don't like this one, then it's fine with me. But come on, guys, give this film a chance. I mean, sure, it's a sequel that came out of nowhere. I think they announced it a little too late. And I get that this was supposed to be a Disney Plus show converted into a movie, but still, yeah. Yeah, maybe I am biased towards Disney. That's why I praise this one. I praise this, but yeah, but that doesn't stop me from loving this film. This movie is better than the first Moana in every single way possible. And the animation is absolutely even more gorgeous and realistic. How the fuck do people say that the animation is cheap and lazy? I'm sorry, but let's just stop calling Disney animation cheap and lazy. First Wish and now this. Like, have you seen Despicable Me 4's animation? Now that is a cheap and lazy animation right there. And this has the magic of Disney. It is just as magical. In fact, twice as magical as the first film. And sure, I will say that the songs. I will say that I don't think the songs are better than the first film songs, but they're not weaker either. It does have the weakest Moana song. What could be better than this? Yeah, the song that Moana's crew sang, but it's not one of the best songs in the film, but it is the weakest Moana song. But it's still a great song, like a catchy and upbeat song. Upbeat song, but then you got Beyond the best, not only the best song in the entire Moana franchise, but the best song of the year. Moana is one of my crushes of the year. The fact that they made Moana twice as gorgeous as in the first film just says something, like even more gorgeous. And this is also a bigger film than the first. And the idea of having Moana, building a crew for Moana is a great idea. It made Moana progress even more as a character. Moana is as we get to see Moana actually lead her people and not just go alone like in the first film. Oh, and the third act of the film, like, wow! I mean, that third act freaking blew my mind, especially when that scene where Moana became a demigoddess by getting tattoos. Yeah, And having Moana almost and the fact that Moana nearly got killed off, yeah. Despite I knew that Moana was going to come back to life, that scene with Maui actually like feeling remorse for, I don't know if that's the right word to use. Well, you know what I mean. But that scene just made me cry. Yeah, that scene just truly made me tear up. Yeah, I know I'm the only one who loves this film, and I know people are saying that you're just biased towards Disney, but I don't care. I will love Disney to the. I will never stop loving Disney, and please, at least please don't hate Zootopia 2. I swear to God, please do not hate Zootopia 2. I think that Zootopia 2 should be loved. But yeah, Moana 2, yeah, there are better movies than Moana 2, but still, yeah. And it's not even my favorite anime film of the year, but this would be a close second. So yeah. And now we're getting into the top 5. At number 5, a tie between Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, and Dune Part 2. Yeah, the two best Warner Bros. Movies of the year. Yeah, both movies are freaking masterpieces. Oh, and maybe even the best Warner Bros. Movies of the decade, I should add. So let's start off with Furiosa and Mad Max Saga, because if I were to choose one between the two, I'd give the slight edge to Furiosa and Mad Max Saga just because of mainly because of my love for Anya Taylor-Joy. But damn, yeah, Furiosa is the best Mad Max movie, even over Mad Max Fury Road. I don't care what anyone else says. Yeah, maybe I'm biased because of Anya Taylor-Joy being Furiosa, but I mean, what's not to love about Anya Taylor-Joy being Furiosa? I mean, she's even better than Charlize Theron. But yeah, I think Furiosa is one of the best prequels I've ever seen. Maybe even the best prequel ever made. And I love how this film really took its time. Is it slow? Yes, I know that it's not the non-stop action that Mad Max Fury Road is, but this film managed to impress those people who call Mad Max Fury Road overrated. Those types of people who want to see actual storytelling and not just all non-stop action. We get this in this film. We got that in this film. We got an actual story and a good story of that. A story about Furiosa and how she just became Furiosa and all that stuff. And I love how the movie really took its time to build up Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa. And I don't mind. Sorry about that, but yeah, I don't mind Anya Taylor-Joy. Okay, well, sorry about the noise. I mean, it's New Year's. It's New Year. What do you expect? I'm recording this on New Year's Day, so you should see that coming. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, back on topic. I think taking its time to build the young Furiosa is really good. And Lila Brown is amazing. So much so that you don't really get bothered by, oh, where's Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa? But when you get to Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa, oh man, that is, yeah, you get such big action set pieces. You get some just mind-blowing action, action scenes that, I gotta say, the action is even more intense and exciting than Mad Max Fury Road's action scenes. It is just freaking incredible. And Anya Taylor-Joy is just Furiosa. Now I will say that on reflection, guys, I think Beth Harmon is still Anya Taylor-Joy's best performance. I initially said that Furiosa is her best role. Yeah, I still would say I still would prefer Beth Harmon as her best role, but Furiosa is definitely her best movie performance yet. And Chris Hemsworth gives his best performance as the villain Demetrius, even better than Thor, I should say. Yeah. And yeah, that ending. That ending of just Furiosa interrogating Dementus instead of just a big all-out action. Yeah, that was a clever idea and a great way to subvert the expectations. So yeah, and as for the other movie on the time spot, Dune Part 2, yeah, Dune Part 2 this was my most anticipated movie of the year, and kind of a shame that it wasn't really my favorite film of the year. But as I thought, but that's actually why one thing I loved about 2024. It was a year of movies that subverted my expectations. It made me realize that that maybe not all movies should be like exactly the way that I wanted them to be, because I had this tendency of like judging movies based on what I based on my expectations, so like overhyping them. But this year, this year really taught me that I can at least be shocked about how good the movie is. Um, I think that I just really need to be more honest and open about my thoughts. So, but even though next year I do believe that my most anticipated film will be my favorite film of the year, I have that high feeling about it. But anyway, back to Dune Part 2. It is better than the first film in every single way possible, and it is easily the greatest film from Denis Villeneuve. It's everything you wanted from this one. Everything the first film set up perfectly builds, perfectly pays off in this one. You get, I mean, and when Denis Villeneuve promised a scale as big as Lord of the Rings, he truly meant it with this film right here. He really he was not lying. But it's just that everything he promised went to this film instead of the first one. And yeah, you get such big bombastic action scenes. And Timothy Chalamet gives his best performance yet. Zendaya, although this is the best movie that I'm not. Zendaya though, actually I would say both Shani and MJ are both tied as my favorite Zendaya performance yet. And also everybody here is amazing. Everyone here is amazing. Even freaking sorry about that, guys. Even freaking Florence Pugh is amazing despite her limited screen time, and cinematography gorgeous, visuals. Honestly, guys, this is probably the best, the most visually stunning movie of the year, in my personal opinion. I actually would agree with the majority that this is worthy of winning best visual effects at the Oscars. Yeah, best visual effects at the Oscars. And the writing is amazing too. And also Austin Butler as Fade, one of the best villains of the year without question. And I will acknowledge that Dune Part 2 is the better made movie of the year, but if I were to choose one, I'd say Furiosa is more personal to me, but these two movies deserve to be tied. As number 4, Anora. Yeah, the movie that I personally think should win Best Picture at the Oscars and would absolutely deserve it. Sure, yes. Honestly, I'm starting to think that maybe it won't win. Maybe The Brutalist will win Best Picture, simply because Anora does have haters. I've heard a lot of people say Anora is not that good and is overrated. But seriously, guys, I don't get why people call this movie overrated. I think this movie deserves all the hype it gets. It's not an overrated film at all. I absolutely adore it to know, and I think this actually did deliver what I think is the best cinema experience of the year. I explained everything in my Nora review, so I don't want to get into detail again on that. But that's actually what made me just love Anora even more than I thought. The fact that it was the best cinema experience of the year, my first experience to a film festival, and with all these cinephiles, and people actually reacting to it, like even cheering at certain scenes, like that scene where Nora was like, "Oh, your son's a pussy that he married a girl to piss off his parents." That was such a great one. Okay, it's happening again, guys. I am so sorry about the firecrackers firework noises, but it's New Year's Day, so yeah. But anyways, moving on. I'll try not to get distracted by it. Okay, where was I? Yeah, Mikey Madison gives one of the best performances of the year, and she better win best actress. I will be disappointed big time if she does not win Best Actress, that will be a poor shame and prove that the Oscars and would show that the Oscars are biased towards just people like towards young actresses like her, like Gen Z actresses, and everybody gives a great performance. You're a Borisov as Igor, man. Yeah, he's so likable. He's like the heart of the film, and this probably has the best original screenplay of the year. The movie about what if a Cinderella story met a harsh reality? That is a clever idea right there. And this film is so entertaining and so engaging from start to finish. It was made as an indie art house film. It didn't even feel like that at all. It barely felt like that. And this is one sexy as hell film, man. Yeah. And this is a film. And I'm actually planning to rewatch this film tonight as my final film of 2024. Yeah, this would be a worthy way to end the film. And it's technically a New Year film too. It's technically a New Year film. So yeah, guys. I think I still wish that this movie would win Best Picture, but at this point I won't be shocked because, like what I said, people do call this movie overrated, but it does not deserve to be overrated. It is not overrated by the slightest. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's funny as well. Maybe the funniest film of the year. And it also has scenes that made me cry, like the ending. So yeah. At number 3, Wicked. Yeah, Wicked is a film that just gets better and better and better the more I think about it. And considering that this is a contender for a Best Picture nominee at the Oscars, this would probably be my favorite out of the Best Picture contenders. Yeah. Damn, yeah. Wicked is without question the best movie of fall 2024, considering the fact that my top 2 movies are movies that came out in the summer. But what can I say about Wicked? Yeah, I cannot stop thinking about this movie. Damn, yeah, it is just that good of a film. Yeah, I mean the songs in this one. Even though none of the songs are original, so Wicked is a film that I disqualified from being nominated for Best Original Song. I think that this has the soundtrack of the year, hands down. Especially with songs like What Is This Feeling, Defying Gravity. Sorry about that. Defying Gravity, Popular. Sorry about that loud noise. But yeah, Defying Gravity, Popular, like you name it. Yeah, and the performances, yeah. Ariana Grande we need Ariana Grande to win Best Supporting Actress. I don't know anybody who is more Oscar worthy than Ariana Grande. Besides maybe Mikey Madison, but Mikey is leading, and apparently the Oscars are going to put Ariana Grande on the supporting, which makes sense because this movie is technically a Glinda movie, technically an Elphaba movie, while Wicked Part 2, Wicked for Good, is a film about Glinda. So yeah, so that definitely makes sense. Yeah, and I don't get why people complain about the runtime. I thought the 2 hours and 40-minute runtime flew by, and it made sense to be 2 hours and 40 minutes because it needed to take its time to be so faithful to the Broadway musical. And I feel like people who say that, oh, this movie should be an hour and a half, just like the Broadway musical, clearly don't understand that the difference between a Broadway musical, Broadway musical's runtime and between your Broadway musical and film. Why? If you just make a Broadway music, if you make a movie adaptation to a Broadway musical, just the same runtime, then that it would not be a good thing at all. So yeah, and this is a big film. John M. Chu really went all out with this one. I think yeah, this is why I'm a John M. Chu fan, and yeah, and this film made me cry as well, like specifically with that party scene in the middle act. Yeah, and it is also intense, and the third act is intense as hell. Yeah, I mean that final act, defying gravity, the moment defying gravity, it could not have been any more. It could not have gotten any more goosebumps inducing than this. Yeah, this film is so good that I have Wicked for Good as my most anticipated live action movie of the year of 2025. Yeah, it is just. Yeah, this honestly felt like a Disney movie. Yes, I'm serious. This is easily the greatest Wizard of Oz movie ever, and it is honestly no competition. But anyways, yeah. But I'm someone who thinks Wicked's storyline is more interesting than Wizard of Oz's storyline. Yeah, I adore this movie to death. And musical is probably on par with action as my favorite genre, and this is why this movie defines why I love musical. And this may be the best non-Disney, best musical movie I've ever seen outside of the Walt Disney Animation Studios musicals, like Frozen 2, Wish, and the Lion King, original Lion King. So yeah, at and yeah, I'm so happy that people love this film. I am beyond overjoyed that people love this one. And I knew that this movie was gonna be amazing. So yeah, the fact that I nailed it with predicting this movie was going to be a masterpiece when everybody thought that this movie was gonna failure. Ha! See, I win. Suck it, haters. At number two, Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, my favorite movie of the year is animated, so I would call Deadpool Wolverine the best live action movie of the year. I mean, I would agree with everyone else that 2024 was an underwhelming year for comic book movies. Even though I'm on the fence of Joker, Folie à Deux, Kraven the Hunter, and Venom Last Dance, I'm on the fence of them. But damn, I mean, only one Marvel movie, and one DC movie, and this year alone has been a riddle with low budget, cheap ass comic book flicks like the Crow and Hellboy the Crooked Man, as well as the Sony Spider-Verse, especially with the letdown that is Madam Web. But Deadpool Wolverine is the one shining light to comic book films this year. I love Deadpool Wolverine, and this is a film that made me a happy fan right here. I think this is probably the most satisfying film of the year when it comes to me just being a Marvel fan. Deadpool Wolverine has such amazing chemistry. Wolverine is my favorite male character of the year, and Hugh Jackman gave my favorite male performance of the year. He has never been a better Wolverine, and I agree with Deadpool. This MCU's Wolverine is the best. Is the best Wolverine, and the fact that we finally got Wolverine with a yellow suit. Yeah, Disney clearly understands X-Men better than Deadpool Wolverine. Disney clearly understands X-Men more than 20th Century Fox. So I think, Disney buying 20th Century Fox could not have been a bigger blessing than this. And as the MCU's very first R-rated film, they clearly knocked it out of the park. And the fact that people thought that they were going to Disney-fy Deadpool Wolverine and just make it PG-13. Yeah, people, this is why you should stop calling Disney a company that only makes kids movies, because that is that proves that it's not true, and y'all are wrong. When this movie is full of some of the greatest fan service and cheer-worthy moments you'll ever see. Oh, and also bringing in Laura in this one. Oh man, I love Laura. She is just amazing. Laura is one of my crushes of the year, and Daphne Keane. Yeah, I mean, please bring Laura into the MCU. I would love that. MCU in general, not just for the sake of this film right here. And this is an MCU fan dream come true. And sure, yes, I did overpraise this one, calling it the best superhero film of all time. I still think Endgame is the best superhero film of all time, but this is a close second. it is without question the best X-Men movie ever made, and yeah, it is the greatest X-Men movie I've ever seen, and yeah, I still think though, future MCU movies will top this one, like Secret Doomsday, Secret Wars, and the MCU X-Men film. I think that they're gonna top this one, for me. So yeah, this would have been number one on the list if it wasn't for the one movie that moved me, that movie that really spoke to me and impacted me more than this. And my number one favorite movie of 2024 is Inside Out 2. Sorry about that. Sorry, I apologize, but yeah, man, these firecrackers guys are so annoying. But anyways, yeah, Inside Out 2 is a freaking masterpiece in every single way. I mean, I haven't put a Pixar movie as my favorite film of the year since Soul. I mean, there could have been a better movie of 2020 than Soul if it wasn't for COVID, but yeah, legit. Yeah, this movie. This is my favorite Pixar film of all time, and the greatest Disney sequel since Frozen 2. Yeah, this is the Frozen 2 of Pixar. Yeah, and what makes this film number one over Deadpool Wolverine is how yeah, it's just how it just really moved me more. And also, it's a film that I find myself rewatching more than I do with Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. And the animation is some of the most gorgeous I've ever seen, especially in the case of Pixar. And just the idea of having new emotions, it really screams sequel in a good way. This is a perfect example of how you do a sequel. Actually expand on the concept of the first film. And I know people are saying that people who all call this an unnecessary sequel are clearly eating their words right now, because I mean, it always has been a necessary sequel to begin with because of Riley's new emotions. Like as Riley grows up, she faces new emotions. That is that is the right direction to take for this Inside Out sequel. And Riley is the best character of the year. And yeah, Riley is just a character who is just so relatable. And the fact that Disney had the balls to Disney and Pixar did their research on teens and in order for this film to have a realistic portrayal of teenagers and have that with Riley, that is just that is the way to go for it. And this film made me cry even more than the first film. Yeah, if you thought that the first one was emotional, well, this one right here, I mean, for those who say that this movie isn't nearly as emotional as the first film and not emotional enough, I'm sorry, but how can anybody not cry at the ending scene where Santa says, Joy, Riley wants you, and then and then we see Joy like reviving the console. How is that not an emotional scene right there? That is just the definition of a tear-jerking moment right there. And also Val is. Val is one of my crushes of the year. Actually, Riley and Val are both tied as my favorite movie characters of the year. Yeah, Devon Lee and Sam LaRusso is still my favorite characters of the year. Yeah, Val is my Pixar crush, man. I mean, Val is so hot. I mean, and also I would say that new emotions are even better than the old emotions. I mean, especially anxiety and envy. Envy would be my favorite. Envy would be my favorite Inside character. And Joy's progression. I mean, it was the weakest Inside Out character, the weakest of the 5 main emotions in the first one. But now she's the best of the 5 main emotions in this one, especially with the way they progressed her, and especially with that. Delusional. Oh, of course I'm delusional. Do you know how hard it is to stay positive all the time? And all you folks do is complain. Yeah. I think 2024 is one of the best summer movie seasons of the best summer movie season. No, 2024 is one of the best summers in my personal life. And seeing Inside Out 2, it contributes to why summer is amazing, especially July. When I saw this film for the second time, oh man. So yeah. I have never been more proud to call Inside Out 2 the number one movie of 2024. I still think Cobra Kai season 6 is the best thing in the media to come out this year, but Inside Out 2 is a close second. So also for my top 10 favorite films of the year, yeah, so sorry for the loud firework noises. I know people don't like it when my videos have distractions in them. I also don't like it, but I mean, there's a reason why it's hard for me to find a right location to record my videos. I will explain. I may make a video explaining on how I do my videos and why it's like this. Anyways, what is your favorite film of the year? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my thoughts on 2024 as my final video of the year. So yeah, bye guys.